Hey guys, welcome to microbiology. I'm very excited to start teaching you guys for the first time. This is a fun class, but it is also a very quick class as we only meet 5 times. So you want to make sure that you are getting your assignments turned in on time and not falling behind. So first we'll start with going over the syllabus, and I will write my email up here so you guys have it. It's spage@pmi.edu. So always feel free to send me an email with questions or thoughts. I'm always here if you guys need to talk about anything, even if it's outside of school related. So with this course, there are no prerequisites. It's going to be all online because there's no lab times. So course requirements, be in attendance, that's the biggest one. Make sure that you're logging in on our course days. Um, both, we're gonna have both live and recorded lectures. Um, so make sure you are in attendance. You need to actively participate in discussions. So basically during live lectures, participating with each other and furthering discussions. We are going to have mostly individual activities for this course because it's so short. There are no lab skills that we will have to obtain. Um, and then you need to pass this class with a minimum of a 77%. Okay, so here's the big breakdown of the grades here. So MREs are going to be worth 20%, homework will be worth 15%, exams are going to be worth 25%, and there are 2 exams in this course. In first semester, your PPS will be worth 15% of your grade, and then your final project, which will be in place of a final exam, is worth 25%. So the grade breakdown here is the same as all your other classes. An A would be 93 to 100%, a B would be 85 to 92%, a C would be 77 to 84%, and then anything below 77% is going to be failing. So listed below here, we have our course objectives. So this is what we are going to be talking about throughout the course. So you can view the course syllabus in the course syllabus section on Blackboard. So here we have our calendar. So today is going to be obviously a recorded lecture. As I just started the new clinical director position, I have a training today, so that is why it is recorded. So we'll start with this introduction lecture, and then after this, you will view your history of microbiology and intro to microbiology lecture. And then day 2, we're going to talk about bacteria, both gram-positive and gram-negative on Monday. That will be a live lecture, and I will be posting Zoom links in both day 2 content folder and then the daily announcement as well. You will have an MRE, which covers today's lecture. Day 3, which is next Friday, we will talk about algae and protozoa and fungi and viruses and have our first exam, which covers the first 2-day content. Day 4, which is Monday, we'll have a mode of transmission lecture and talk about equipment processing and how to clean it, and then PPE. And then day 5, your bug project is due, which is your final project. And then for the live portion, we are going to go over PPE. We will get you registered, and we will talk about some basic clinical paperwork that is going to be coming up in the future. And that is our last day of class. So diving right in. So the bug project. So this is your final project. So there's no book for this course that's specific to microbiology. So in the next document I show you, you're going to see the list of bugs. This will help you kind of get you an idea of all the different bugs and bacteria, viruses, fungi that we're going to be going over in this course. So for this project, you need to know that this is your final. So you won't have a final exam. The bug project will take place of that final exam. You will be creating a PowerPoint. So make sure that you create a PowerPoint, and it's going to be in a presentation format. We're not going to actually be giving the presentation. So you will be submitting the PowerPoint to me as if you were presenting it. So you will choose 2 bugs from this list. So you will be covering 2 bugs. So included in your PowerPoint for both organisms is going to be the type of bug. So is it a virus? Is it a gram-negative bacteria? Is it a gram-positive bacteria? Is it an algae, etc.? Transmission. So how do we or our patients catch it? Do they catch it with from a surface, from contact? Is it a respiratory illness that they inhale, etc.? Where does it live? So does it live in the soil and then it is inhaled? Is it airborne? Is it opportunistic? So is it going to affect our patients who are immunocompromised? Then we have prevention. So how do we avoid catching it? Are there vaccines? Do healthcare workers need to wear PPE? Do we avoid certain areas? Can we wear a respirator when we are doing gardening? Those type of things. Treatment, so medications, are we treating the symptoms? So for example, COVID causes a fever. Other bacteria may cause a fever. How do we treat the symptoms? Number 5 is special consideration. So anything else that is mentioned in class or that you find in your research that is going to be important because it's specific to that pathogen. So for example, malaria is more common in jungle areas in Asia. So geographical location, specific signs and symptoms, the color of their sputum, things that pertain to us as our T's, how many tests are needed to confirm the specific pathogens, things of that nature. And then you need at least 2 pictures for each bug. So that can be a picture that of the bacteria or the virus or whatever pathogen you choose underneath the microscope. You can use infographics that you find at the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control. Get creative with this, and you can use more than 2 pictures for each bug, but you have to have a minimum of 2 pictures. So at least 2 pictures. So everything needs to be done in APA format, meeting the following criteria. So we will go over our writing levels in a few moments, but we're not formatting a formal paper. Because it is a PowerPoint, it's going to be formatted a little different. So let's go over how I want you to format an APA. So the PowerPoint must be at least 12 slides long. And in these slides, you must include a title slide. It's going to have whatever you want to call your presentation or your PowerPoint, and your name. 10 slides, a minimum. So if you go over this, that is fine. So this is a minimum. And then 1 reference slide at the end. And this is also a minimum. So if you find that you can't fit all your references on 1 slide, you can add additional slides so that your references are in the proper APA format. So your references must be in APA format. And I do have some resources for you on that. in the bug project content folder. So in every slide, so our slides that have content must have speaker notes. You have to include speaker notes on every slide. That's imperative. You will get docked points if you do not have speaker notes on every slide, and they must be written in full sentence. So when you're doing research, you should take that research, write it in your own words, and then have in-text citation, which is quotes or direct information from that resource, um, shortened into your own words, and you are backing up what you have learned with this citation. So your speaker notes should not be all um, copy and pasted or quoted from your resource. It should be the information that you learned, written in your own words, and then backed up with one or two points from your resource that you have chosen. So backup key points in text citations are going to be required. So again, each slide needs speaker notes with at least one in-text citation to back up what you are writing. So when you submit this on Blackboard, it has to be submitted as a PowerPoint file. That way I can download it, because when you see the preview, when you go to submit it, you won't see the speaker notes, but what I do is I click the little download button and it pops the PowerPoint open on my computer, and then I can read your speaker notes. So it has to be in a PowerPoint file or I won't be able to see those. The last slide, which is your reference slide, must be done in APA format. So like I said, if you have lots of resources you're using, proper APA format says that these references need to be double spaced. So if you run out of room on one slide, you can keep adding slides until you have all your resources posted. You must have a minimum of 2 professional references that are properly cited for each bug. So that would be a total of at least 4 professional references. And when I talk about professional references, I'm referring to peer-reviewed articles, blind studies, or legitimate papers. So papers by med students, doctors, scientists, someone who is a credible resource. Now, that's not saying that you can't have additional resources besides the professional references. You can still use Center for Disease Control, local health departments, the World Health Organization. Those are all great resources for this project, but you need to use those in addition to professional references. So don't mistake a website for an article. So going to time.com, or you're visiting Mayo Clinic website, you need to be using articles rather than just website information. I highly suggest utilizing the PMI online library, which is on the left side of your screen when you open the course. And there's ProQuest, and you can just type in your key phrases and it will pull up studies for you. So that is going to be worth 8 points. So your total project is worth 53 points. And this is how your grade is broken down. So this is your writing level, which we will go over in a few moments. So you must meet your writing level. The criteria listed above here is worth 46 points. The writing level is worth 4 points. And this is our writing level, level 3. And then organization and visual appeal. So that's, does it catch the eye? Does it flow nicely? So if you have Pseudomonas as a bacteria, and then you also choose COVID-19, does it mesh well? Is the information presented so that I don't get confused on what I'm trying to read? So you could do one bug and then your second bug, or you can break it down by category. So comparing the two types of bugs on one slide, it's up to you. But as long as the information is organized and not all over the place, you will have no problem getting those points. So this is the bug project list. This is also on Blackboard in the bug project content folder. You can choose any of these two bugs. So remember, you need to choose two bugs. And I will let you choose any bugs that you would like. Maybe choose something that you've heard of, but you're not quite sure about, or you want to learn more about, or something that a family member has had in the past, or you can relate to it. There's quite a long list, so you have plenty to choose from. So here are the writing levels that I talked about. So in all of my assignments, like with the bug project, I assign writing levels. So everything's structured the same. So this bug project is a level 3. So I know you're not writing a formal paper. So you will need to include all of level 1, level 2, and then onto level 3. So here you're not going to have to worry about having a cover page. We're doing a title slide. So this would be your title slide. Your in-text citations are required in your speaker notes. And then your citations and references, instead of a page at the end, you're just doing another slide. So you're doing a reference slide instead of a paper. So getting more into these writing levels. So level 1 is going to be for short answers. It's pretty basic. You just, as long as you're following the instructions of the assignment, you're writing the answers in your own words. You need to, this is where I see students having a hard time, is avoid using personal pronouns. You need to be writing scientifically. So avoid pronouns. Make sure with any assignment that you submit throughout this program that you're proofreading for grammatical errors, spelling errors, and that everything is flowing well and that it makes sense. You want to use correct punctuation and capitalization. So level 1 is the very basic writing level. So when you do worksheets, small assignments, you're going to be using writing level 1. Writing level 2 is going to be for informal essays or projects. And this incorporates all of level 1 requirements. And then making sure that you use effective paragraphs, transitions, that you have the clear introduction, body, and conclusion. This one does require you to have Arial or Times 12-point font, and that it's double spaced. And this is where you set your margins to 1 inch, and then use reliable sources that are cited within the text when it's indicated. So if in-text citations are required, your instructors will let you know. Okay, PPS. So this is our PPS. It's hard to see on this guy. So PPS, this is what I also pull out when I am doing grading for your clinical rotations. So if you get to know this now, you'll be more successful when you are out on clinicals. The biggest ones that I want to point out is attendance. So our attendance starts with a 5-point reduction for the first absence, and then with continued absences, the amount of PPS points that are taken increase. So we start with 5, and then we go up to 8, and then 11, and so on and so forth. But you also need to understand that if you're not letting me know you're going to be absent before class, you're going to have a 5-point reduction on top of missing points for being absent. Now, when we talk about punctuality, so tardies and leaving early, same thing as attendance. As you have more tardies or you're having to leave class early, you're going to have more points taken away. And you will also have 5 points taken if if you don't tell me you're going to be tardy or leave early. So if you're going to be late and class has already started or it's about to start, shoot me an email. Let me know that something is going on. Even if I don't see it right away, I'll see it after class and I'll see that you tried to reach out. So with me, a big thing is open communication. Keep me informed. Let me know what's going on. If you're sick, once we're on campus, if you're going to be late due to car trouble or traffic, just keep me informed. I'm very uh, approachable, so just keep that communication open because I can't help you. Um, or there may be times where I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, there were 3 other people late because of the same accident in traffic. So just let me know. And then we talk about appearance and professionalism in the last 2 sections. Appearance is going to be more on campus. You need to be in your scrubs when you're on campus and your hair brushed and have deodorant on and all of those professional type things that we need to be doing online. You need to make sure that your camera is on and that you're paying attention and you're you're ready to go for the day. And then professionalism, it's making sure you follow all of the school policies, that you're communicating with the instructors and your sites when you're at clinical, that you're being professional to your classmates as well, and that you're treating everybody with respect pretty much. So the PPS and the writing levels, those documents are available for you in the resource tab in Blackboard. So your course content isn't bogged down with a lot of stuff. So those are available for you. I also want to mention, I forgot, in the bug project folder is an example of a PowerPoint with speaker notes. These speaker notes have in-text citation. It's not a bug project. It's a different assignment. So it's an example that what I'm looking for with your speaker notes. So last but not least, we have our late assignment policy. So this is going to pertain to written assignments and MREs. They will be accepted up to 72 hours past the deadline for a 10% reduction in grade per day. After 72 hours, the grade will be a 0. This does not pertain to final assignments or discussion boards. So you cannot turn in your bug project late. It will not be accepted late. They may be waived. Late penalties may be waived for documentation of dire circumstances, like a medical emergency or a bereavement of an immediate family member. Note that late assignments are at the discretion of the instructor. So again, this is where open communication is key, but I do want to state that if we keep seeing assignments turned in late, and it seems to be a trend or a habit, that PPS points can be taken as well, and that I might not be so lenient on late assignments. So make sure that you just have that open communication and that you're getting your things in on time, especially for this class because it is only 5 days. So that if you have multiple assignments that are late, it's really going to affect your grade. Please reach out to me with any questions that you have about any of this, and we can discuss this more on Monday if we have questions.